All right, guys. Today we're gonna have a discussion about a few different things. So let's start off with what would you say 2014? All the games came out this year. What would you say your top one was? Naj, you already smiled. Let's start with you.
Our top game. We're doing our top games first.
Top game, favorite game, best game, 2014. So
well, I haven't played all of them, obviously, but I'm in the middle of playing Dragon Age right now, and to be honest, it's pretty good. But I'm only I haven't touched the surface yet, so I would have to go with The Walking Dead Season 2. And I know you haven't played it yet, but it's just one of those games where if you're not a gamer or you haven't played video games, enough, you really can't appreciate how good of a game that is, because it's minimal on gameplay, but its story, it can make anybody care. And just the story alone, and it's the only game that has made me, like itch and scratch to play the game again. And I think just because this year has been a weak year for gaming, that is my game of the year. It's just been a very weak year of gaming, in my opinion.
Mine's gonna be Bayonetta 2.
I knew it was coming sooner or later.
And, the game that didn't exist without Nintendo, and they really put a lot of work into it. It's so much better. They improved so much on the first one, and story-wise, they kind of made the first game even better. And the action just feels so much smoother than the first one. And the first one was really good too. And the character is amazing. It's really colorful.
It's really, really colorful.
Yeah.
Not Sunset Overdrive, but it's really colorful.
yeah, not quite that.
And I'm just glad it was able to happen.
So mine's gonna have to be like, I was debating between this and another game that's really, really good this year, but like I gotta go with the Dark Horse because it's been a long time since I've been as immersed into a game as I was with Alien Isolation.
Mm-hmm.
I know people have had some flaws with issues with it, and it does go on for maybe an hour or two more than it needs to, but visually it's beautiful. I really thought it had a great story for a series that's had terrible stories since the second movie, which is 30, 40 years ago. Long time ago. This one finally has a good one. The Alien, though, there's only one, but it's animated amazingly. It's really unpredictable and has some great AI, and it adapts to you so well. There will be moments where you'll use you can create items in this game. You'll create a noise maker. First time you use it, distracts it. The second time though, it will learn. It will go, okay, wait a minute. Last time this happened, something went over that way. What happened this other direction? Because it's clearly just a distraction, just some random noise thing. It doesn't matter. It will learn and adapt to you, and it's horrifying, and it's really, really, really scary.
Now, I've heard mixed reviews about that game from the big and small outlets, just on the internet. Is that game minimal on gameplay, or is it I've been hearing mixed things about how gameplay is, and it's just a lot of running from the alien itself.
There's a little bit of that. I would say that there are points where it does sort of inflate itself, but I think the moments when the alien isn't on screen are still effective because you still get things to do. There's still trying to figure out what happened to on the ship. There's still interactions with both the human people on the ship who they're all really out of whack and they think you're just trying to come and mess them. So they're there are three different portions of the game. Well, four different. There's the environmental interaction stuff, looking around, finding schematics to make new items, and trying to just get through the ship and stay alive. There's interacting with the AI, which is these robots like Ash and Bishop were in the old Alien movies, where they're now very slow enemies, but they're very strong and can take you out really easily. But you can still outrun them. Then there are humans who they fight in groups and they're easy to take out, but they work together, so you have to sort of get past them just being really smart and working at to kill you. And then there's the alien, which is totally unpredictable. Censor that. It's totally unpredictable. It's completely unpredictable. And the great part of the game are these sections where there'll be humans hunting you and you have a noisemaker. If you throw that noisemaker at them, you can get the alien on them, but you'll still have the alien to deal with. It's a game where there's never a solution to fix all your problems. It's finding a different problem, trying to figure out which one you think you can handle, and that's a really amazing thing to me. And I thought it was really all good with that.
Cool.
I admire games that have. I'm sitting so far away from you. I'm sorry. I'm really admire.
Get the holiday spirit going.
Oh God, that's why I'm Jewish. I really admire games that the AI is really different, and the aspect of the intelligent AI that learns is, to me, very similar to, I'm playing Shadow of Mordor right now, which I haven't played it enough to say.
Wait, is that your game of the year?
No.
Okay.
I haven't played it enough to say it's my game of the year.
Okay.
In a couple weeks, I might be able to say, by the end of this month, I might be able to be like, probably up there. But the idea of the AI that learn who you are and remember you from your fights, and the AI in general, it really challenges you on this fight or flight mechanic where most games, like in an Assassin's Creed game or even in a Batman game that's similar fighting style, it's hard for you to feel overwhelmed because you feel like you have so much power. It's just everything's ready, everything's there, and it's like you just take everyone out and then you're good to go and you move. In Mordor, you get overwhelmed so easily that if you have 4 or 5 Uruks that you have to fight, no problem, take them out. But once you start getting the commanders and the generals and the other people, like the bosses that start showing up, they have different weaknesses and everything, but you have to figure out, like, there's so much complication to understand how to take them down that if you start to get too many of them, you actually have to decide, do I want to die?
Yeah, I've heard in that game that fleeing isn't a bad option.
I've had to do it quite a few times because it's like, okay, you start taking them down and you're like, all right, and then it doesn't end and you're like, okay. They keep on coming. They're like bunnies. They just keep on reproducing over and over and it never ends. So it's literally, you either keep on taking them out and then get points, or you just turn around and run and hope to God that you survive. But to mix it up, and let's switch it to the different spectrum. Biggest disappointment game.
Wait, where's the game of the year?
Man.
I don't have a game of the year. All right, so
no,
all right. If I have to choose, I hate saying this, but I have to go with Unity. There were not that many. Most of the games that I played this year were for the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
There weren't a whole lot that came out. The ones that did come out, some of them were very good, but none of them were really justified me spending the money on the PlayStation 4. At least not this year. Next year, it's going to be hopefully a different story. But if I have to go with anything, I was very much to most people's dismay based on reviews of Unity. I was very, very satisfied with it. The ending of it was subpar, still better than the ending of Mass Effect, except you didn't get to choose any pretty colors in this one. But Unity, I thought everything about it was solid. I thought not Ezio. Delilah's getting excited on camera again. Arno, I thought was excellent. I thought the story was great. I thought the acting was great. I didn't like that when they speak in English, they speak in British accents. So after the first mission, I switched it all to French. So they speak French only with English subtitles. Yeah. Makes it more immersive.
Wait, they had that option in that game?
They do have the option. You can switch the actual audio to, I think there's like German, Spanish, French, English, and I switched it to French because I don't want French people speaking with English accents. And it's more immersive that way. Okay. But I thought Ubisoft did a really solid job with this. I'm gonna try to pick up Rogue and see what they did. So
I heard good things about Rogue.
Not just are different, but so if we're gonna talk about poor games, biggest disappointment games of 2014. Andrew, let's start with you.
I wasn't too disappointed with really any of my purchases.
Really?
Yeah.
Smash.
You also play kind of like obscure games. Sometimes.
Not exactly. Sometimes, but Smash, Bayonetta, Dark Souls 2, and I actually enjoyed a lot of Destiny, at least until Bayonetta 2 came out and everything else. And
you're that guy. He's the one.
Yeah, I'm the one, and I've been enjoying Warlords of Draenor.
We have to pick one game to take a crap on. Just one game.
I can't pick a one.
Okay.
Plus,
the grinding in Destiny was a little boring.
Yeah, he is the team nice guy. He's the designated optimist. So then let's go to Naj, who tends to have more strong opinions.
Well,
not quite as me, but he's up there.
As much as I want to say Destiny, because I bought it digitally, so I can't get rid of it.
I made the same mistake.
It's probably the worst $60. I mean, not the worst, but I wasted $60 because I haven't played it since week 1 of the launching. So, but hands down, it's Watch Dogs. I know it's probably your biggest disappointment, but it was just one of those games where we were coming off the release of Grand Theft Auto, and it was supposed to come out around the same time. Got pushed back. I think it got pushed back like twice, didn't it?
It got pushed back in like February, and then when it got closer to the release of Grand Theft Auto, they pushed it back again because they wanted their idea was that the hype from GTA would die down, and then the hype for that would go up, and that was funny.
But anywho, it had a lot of hype, and it didn't live up to it at all. And my thing is, it's a fun game. It's different. It's a different open world third-person shooter, but all the hype it got is a victim of his own hype. And Aiden Pierce, I've been saying it for the longest, he's the most boring character I've played with in a long time. I'm talking about after coming off of playing GTA 5 and playing games like Red Dead Redemption and The Walking Dead. It's just like, who wrote this game? And it's just like, I don't know. They could have did a better job with his development as a character.
Yeah, even though he speaks, he has less personality than like Shell in Portal 2. Like she doesn't say a single word, and you barely even see her, but she still has more personality. Your biggest disappointment of 2014?
See, this is gonna be interesting. So I haven't upgraded yet to like a new console, PS4, PS3.
Do it.
Hipster.
I need the not the point. Point is, I was still really excited for all the games coming out because a bunch of good stuff came out, Borderlands and Alien, and then we get to Shadow of Mordor. And I understand that not every game that comes out for like new gen is going to be exactly the same on last gen. But the biggest thing, like one of the biggest, like most innovative selling points of Shadow of Mordor, the Nemesis system, where enemies will remember you and you'll create this relationship. Where I was like, oh, there's that will kill me that one time, even though I cut his freaking head off. He keeps coming back. Freaking Bob the Butcher, whatever they keep calling his name, keep coming back.
Bob the Butcher.
I don't know. They give him weird names. Butcher, Poet, whatever. It's a great system. It's not in the PS3 version at all. Like, it's completely gone, and they didn't say anything about it. It was false advertising, and it really, really annoyed me. Like, the game's still fine. It's still playable. It's just that because of that main, like, selling point being gone, it feels like a cash grab. And that just, like, I had to get rid of it and just give my money back.
Was that really enough to make it your most disappointing game of the year?
Honestly, kind of, because it just didn't seem like
if you're really looking up to something, like looking forward to something like that, and then it's just not there, like that's... Yeah. It takes away from
like it. Why? Like I didn't see the reason to release the game otherwise if it didn't have this main selling point in it. Because otherwise it was good. It's just lesser, honestly. Like they knew they were releasing lesser product and just didn't care. I guess and it kind of sucked.
I can agree.
Yeah.
I have a few games that I've been disappointed.
You can only pick one.
No, I know. I mean, I've been disappointed. Like Destiny disappointed me. Watch Dogs disappointed me.
You beat those horses.
Wait. Watch Dogs isn't your most disappointing?
No, it's definitely not. The Killzone disappointed me. Infamous Second Son, I was off and on with it. I didn't like it, but that's because when I started to play it, I just finished Prototype 2, and I think the expectation was still there, and it was different. Okay. So I need to try it again, so I was disappointed with that. I have to say my biggest disappointment so far, not so surprisingly at all, is the new Call of Duty.
Oh, God.
The online, and again, we've gone over this every single episode, every single time we get together, we talk. I'm a single player kind of person.
We need a debate.
I do the online. I absolutely do the online.
We need a debate segment so bad on the show.
Absolutely.
We need one.
But I think the online aspect of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is excellent. No questions asked. The new jumping, the jetpack, the new maps, like some of them are probably one of the best maps. I wish that they would have included a new Nuketown because that would have been perfect in this kind of game.
It would have.
But I think with the single player version of it, it did not work well enough for me. Okay. And I'd mentioned this before we even started filming this, like, Troy Baker, who plays the main character, Mitchell, is phenomenal as an actor. He's an excellent actor. He does excellent games. Every game he's ever done that I've played, I love. Kevin Spacey is a phenomenal actor. Absolutely great. The other main character in it, and I'm blanking on his name right now, his voice actor is also incredible. But the story to me was just so overtold, so subpar. It's something we've seen in every single game, and it was like they're trying to
That's always Call of Duty's problem, though.
They try to reinvent the wheel with every game that they release, and the graphics were an improvement from the last Call of Duty game. There's no question about that. But to me, having the PS4 version, I wish that they would have created a separate port. I wish that they would have made some sort of improvement over the next-gen versions that they did for the last gen, because to me, I was playing a PS4 game with Xbox 360 quality graphics, and they were okay, but to me it wasn't satisfying, and it didn't. I didn't feel immersed. I felt like I was running down a tube, shooting people, supposed to be caring that Kevin Spacey is about to kill people, when the entire time I'm killing people.
Well, I mean, that's Call of Duty always suffers from being so linear and just so like full of itself with the explosions, set pieces, and over the top action that they kind of lose sight of what the story's supposed to be about. But we're not here for that, so I'm not going to dive into the
Without a doubt, though, the online is definitely really, really good.
And Call of Duty doesn't get enough credit for how many games ship broken. The online for Call of Duty is so smooth.
No, that's true. Their online has rarely been that much. Ghost was the only issue that they ever had with online, but that's a completely different story. So, looking forward to games coming out next year, 2015. What would you say?
I mean, like, obviously I want to go with Arkham Knight. So Arkham Knight looks really, really, really good. I like finally expanding the open world a lot more. I like the stuff we've seen with the Batmobile, because I was really worried it was just going to be just a way to get around, but we're seeing a lot of stuff that's able to pull things down. The obvious shooting segments with these unmanned drones, because Batman doesn't kill. Whoa. But all that looks really, really good. Graphically, it's gorgeous, and I can't wait to see the new things to add to the fighting system, and what new villains we haven't seen, because Scarecrow looks really interesting, and I want to know who the Arkham Knight is, but I know there's more. They're just slowly revealing here and there, and I want to see what they do with that.
I just think they're revealing, I don't know, the Batmobile just seems to be getting a lot of hype. I think it's just too much hype. I just hope it's,
I mean, it's the first Batmobile game.
True.
The first Batman. I mean, technically it is the first Batmobile game.
You got it.
I was technically right.
Yeah,
it's the first Batman game where you
it.
actually get to have a vehicle as opposed to just jumping rooftop to rooftop like a creeper.
I just think I've been seeing too much of the Batmobile, but I understand it's the first time, so
yeah.
Let's
I mean, again, it looks like a fun, extra thing you can do, but the main gameplay was really getting me excited, because there's a bunch of new cool systems, and enemies to fight, and just more Batman. I've loved all those games, even Origins. I'm way too excited for it. But also, I'm kind of excited for the new Mortal Kombat and newly announced Street Fighter, because I think we've gotten too many...
Isn't Street Fighter, what is it, 5?
It's 5, yeah. They just announced it.
They just announced it. I think it's a PC and PS4 exclusive.
It's exclusive, yeah, which is kind of big-ish, because PS4 has been getting a bunch of traction for a bunch of exclusives like Destiny stuff, and now eventually though, it's coming.
Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or Happy New Year or whatever. Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate.
The point is, I like the fighting game stuff coming out. I'm just glad we're getting a new Street Fighter finally, because I've been tired of the re-releases and I want to see the new. And Mortal Kombat, I like that each character has a system now where they have 3 different variations on how they play, and it looks very interesting, and I want to know where it goes from 9, because 9 was an amazing rebirth of the series after whatever the stuff before with all the 3D. Ugh. I want to know what they do with it next, and 10 looks really, really good.
All right, Andrew.
Bloodborne first is coming out in February, and I'm excited for that. It's going to be the next Souls game. It's going to be directed by the creator of both the Souls series. I think Halo 5 is coming out next year. The beta is going on right now.
It comes out in June.
Dead horse.
The Guardians good though, actually.
The beta comes out, or the game?
The beta is supposed to be out at some point this month, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully and optimistically Scalebound, the next Platinum game, will be out next year or 2016 at the latest. And
some of these games I have no idea when they're supposed to even come out.
I don't think Scalebound even has gameplay out yet. It was just announced at E3 and there's a cinematic.
CGI.
But I'm
CGI.
hopeful.
Is it really a question? Is this a question? What my most anticipated game is it's the Phantom Pain.
Watch Dogs 2? No.
Obviously Metal Gear, and I've said time and time on this show that I have my own series about it, so it's kind of obvious. But I told you guys.
Sits and talks about Metal Gear Solid for half an hour.
I've told you guys that if Metal Gear does not get Game of the Year for next year, then
we don't even know if it's going to be a good game. How can you be expecting? You said the same thing about Grand Theft Auto and the same thing.
But Grand Theft Auto was greatness, and you've acknowledged that. But this
table doesn't seem straight.
The ambition of this game, and I encourage you guys to go watch the videos that have been out for this game. The ambition of this game is just. It's beyond anything I've ever seen before. It's huge. The fact that it's still not released yet is indication that this game is going to be massive. It's the first time Metal Gear has been open world, and
that's the only reason I'm going to probably get it.
And just the fact that Big Boss is turning into the villain now is something that, personally I want to witness, firsthand myself, because like he's a character that I've grown with, and watching him become the villain I want it to happen. Because,
this is getting so emotional.
You
see his face?
He's touched. I'm
He's
really
like on the
happy.
verge of tears.
I'm really happy for you.
No, that
Big Boss is I don't want to say my hero, but like he's my.
Doesn't your girlfriend call you Big Boss?
She does.
Is that gonna stay when he becomes the villain?
Yes.
Actually, I didn't want to know about that.
So it's just this, but on the grand scale of things, there is another game that really has me excited for 2015. I mean, Halo 5, maybe The Division. Ubisoft has to prove to me that they can put out a solid game after Watch Dogs. So
Or working one.
but even if there was, the Phantom Pain is just my heavyweight right now. So
See, for me, after Unity kind of restored my faith in them. The Division, Tom Clancy's The Division is what I'm most looking forward to. I have no idea if it's coming out in 2015. I don't know if it's 2016, 2000. I have no idea when it's coming out.
probably the end of 2015.
Probably the end of 2020. PlayStation 8.
What, you mean the news program?
But no, I think I have faith in them. I think Watch Dogs was something that they really tried to do, and I think it was a letdown. But I think it was original. And I believe that with The Division, I think that they can actually, with how they proved that the co-op works in Assassin's Creed Unity, I think that it could really work well.